It's time for Mornings at 8 with Jonathan Mark on AM 1480 WLEA.
Oh, well, yes, it is time for Mornings at 8, and here we are about 6 minutes after 8 o'clock on a Monday morning. Monday, December 2nd, Monday morning, and when I say unmistakably Monday, boy howdy, I guess I mean it this morning. What a morning. What a Sunday it was, too. Unbelievable. You might call it a post-Thanksgiving storm, I guess. On the other hand, we did see this thing coming at the beginning of last week. So we knew it was coming. The National Weather Service said we were going to have a storm, and boy, I guess we did. Power outages, schools closed, all this stuff. I was thinking, for all the time I worked at WLEA, and this is still true, if there's a storm, an emergency of some sort, anything really important and urgent going on, where do you turn to? That's right, WLEA. It has always been like that, and it will probably always be like that. If there's something important going on, a storm or something like that, WLEA is where you want to be. And boy, I guess we had a storm. Matter of fact, I'm broadcasting right now from a greater metropolitan element in my office here. And as I look outside, wow, this is what you call your basic winter wonderland. That's right. We had about maybe 5 inches of snow here. And as a matter of fact, it's still coming down. And that was on top of ice, hail, freezing rain, and snow yesterday. So luckily, my wife and I cleaned off our cars, and they got the ice off of it, or off of them, off the windshields. Because if we hadn't, it would have been a real trial. I mean, a real trial this morning. Let me see here. Power outages east of here. Schools closed, as I said. And I read something kind of interesting. Okay, Alfred State College, both the Alfred and Wellsville campuses have canceled classes. Good deal, as has Alfred University. And in Alfred State, it says only essential employees are asked to report. And I've often thought, if you owned a business or if you're in charge of HR or something at a school, if you say only essential employees are asked to report, that is a sure way to have everybody report, right? Okay. Only essential employees are asked to report. Oh, yeah, well, I'll go because, of course, I'm essential, right? So that's a sure way to have everybody show up. Even through the most horrible weather, everybody will show up. Only essential employees. Okay, let me see here. The hat buses are running, I guess they start at this hour, and they will be running until 4:30 this afternoon, it says here. So that's that. A number of schools are closed. Alfred Allen, as you heard Brian mention, they are not on a 2-hour delay. They are now closed.
Can I jump in, Jonathan?
Yes.
Just got an email from Canasarega School Superintendent Chad Groff, who says Canasarega is now closed.
Okay. That too is closed. I think we could probably say that probably most schools in the area are closed. That's probably now. What I don't have here on a list, I don't have Canisteo Greenwood. Is that closed or what?
Yes.
Okay, Canisteo Greenwood. Canisteo Greenwood is closed too. I think that kind of takes care of everybody. And if it's that bad here, about 12:30 this morning, I took a screenshot of the website Empire Report. And here, if you think it's bad here, this was on the front page of the Empire Report. Syracuse, 9 to 15 inches. Albany region, 10 to 20 inches. Catskills, up to 2 feet. Dutchess County, 14 inches. And Cuomo deploys crews. So that was at 12:30 this morning on Empire Report. So east of here, they got a lot worse than we did, okay? What else here? Cuomo places National Guard on standby. Oh, plane slides off taxiway in Buffalo. This was at 3 o'clock. New York City airport cancellations, probably a lot of those. However, New York City public schools are open. At least that was the last word at 3 o'clock this morning, so I don't know. But, boy, they got a lot more snow there than we have here. But hey, we are Western New Yorkers. We live in the Southern Tier. We're accustomed to it. It's no big deal, just no big deal. However, a few little words here. With roads as bad as they are, I was outside this morning, and I saw some people driving on Main Street here in Almond, and you wonder how people think they can go so fast on snow.
Jonathan, I wanted to jump in. We have Steuben County's Emergency Services Director, Tim Marshall, on the line with us now.
Oh, I was hoping he was going to call.
Great. Tim Marshall, what do we know this morning?
We've had a little bit of snow this morning, I guess, huh? Welcome to winter.
Yeah, just a little bit. So how are the roads looking in Steuben County?
So right now, from the reports that I'm getting, roads are snow-covered. Crews have been out. They have plowed. They have got the salt and the sand down. The temperature seems to be working pretty nice with us this morning. So, they're anywhere from slush to snow-covered at this point.
Uh-huh. So when did, I know the snow started here in a big way in Almond, in Allegheny County here, sometime last evening. So when did it start snowing in any amount in Steuben County?
Yeah, I think it was, last evening between, they were expecting between 8 and midnight. I know around 10 o'clock here in Bath we were getting some light snow. But I think probably more toward midnight is when the heavier snow picked up and really started bringing the amounts up.
Well, Tim, I was thinking this morning that how does the Office of Emergency Services here in Steuben County coordinate with New York State as a whole?
So we work really close with all of our partner agencies, from the local municipalities right on through to the state Office of Emergency Services. So, we're working closely with them, coordinating with them throughout the day, giving them status reports on the current situation here in Steuben County. And, any time that we need assistance, we request that from the state, and they help to coordinate and provide that to us.
Thinking with the advent of the net, I mean, the net is all over the place. You cannot get by without the net. How has advanced computer technology and the net helped emergency services, how to deal with emergencies?
So we have a system in New York State called New York Responds, and it's a joint venture between the Office of or Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Services and the locals. So we can get onto that system. We can send status updates. We can request assistance. We can provide them with the input on current jobs and current situation. And it's a really kind of a tracking system that allows us all to be able to talk together.
Tim, it's Brian O'Neill joining in here on Jonathan Mark's Mornings at HO. I wanted to ask you about the power outages. We saw earlier on the NYSEG outage page that there was lots of outages. The more east you go, there were outages in Bath, and then even more outages in Corning and Lindley. How's that situation?
So crews are out. They're working on it. It's going to be a slow go. I mean, based upon the amount of snow that we've got and being able to identify where the problems are and getting those problems restored, it could take some time. But, anytime we have a heavy wet snow like this with the ice and the sleet that we had yesterday, underneath, it really causes some havoc for the power issues. So, we're not seeing major issues like we did over the Halloween storm, but, we're still seeing, 4,000 customers or so across the county that are out.
Well, Tim, how is the county set for sand and de-icers?
Yeah, so the county's, beginning of the season, all our salt and storage sheds are pretty full. The crews are really good about getting out and getting onto the roads early in the morning before the morning commute to try to get things cleared and at least passable. Certainly the sheriff and I have put out a statement yesterday of no unnecessary travel. and we really kind of still recommend that today. If you don't have to go out, stay home. If you've got to go to work, go to work. You've got to do what you've got to do in that situation. But if you really don't have to go out, you can skip that doctor's appointment. The doctor's office may be closed anyways. Please call ahead and make sure that the point of destination that you're going to is open today.
So what's the latest that you've heard on how the weather's going?
So right now we're anticipating snow to continue throughout the day today to this afternoon. We could pick up an additional, couple inches throughout the day today. We're not anticipating the winds to pick up too greatly, which is going to help us in the power issue situation. We won't be expecting an awful lot of blowing and drifting snow, so that's a good thing. So, this thing should be winded down. This was a big storm system. I mean, we got hit with the first round yesterday, and then, again, the second round came in last night. So it was kind of a two-pronged storm.
Uh-huh. Now, what's the role of the county with the utilities?
So we work closely with the utilities to, find out what their status is. We keep in touch with them on how long their outages are going to be, trying to, coordinate for critical facilities and critical customers, those individuals that, may be on home medical equipment and things like that. We just try to make them aware of facilities that are critical, like hospitals and fire departments and places like that need power, to try to get them on and prioritize, help them with the prioritization of getting the power on to the folks that really need it in the areas that need it. Primarily, we push on trying to have the more populated areas on first.
Mm-hmm. Well, Tim, I'm sure that you have a very busy day in front of you.
Absolutely. I mean, it was a busy day yesterday. We're rolling right back into another busy day today.
Okay. Well, I don't want to take up too much of your time here in the morning. I'm sure that you're a busy guy. So, well, good luck. And I'm sure that the Steuben County Department of Emergency Services has done an excellent job for all the time I was doing news here. And I'm sure you will do a good job with this storm and any storm that comes down the pike.
Well, we try to stay ahead of it. We try to keep people informed, and the big thing that people can do to help us is to be prepared themselves and to, listen to our advisories and take them to heart.
Right. Okay, well, Tim, thank you very much.
Okay, appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Have a great morning.
Well, you too, or try to anyway. Okay, thanks.
Absolutely. Thanks.
It's AM 1480 WLEA, and we're doing the Jonathan Mark Mornings at 8 show with Jonathan and Elman. Jonathan, it's Brian back at the station. How are things in Elman this morning?
Excuse me?
How are things in Elman this morning as far as the roads and the weather goes?
It probably could be considerably better. As I said, we got about 5 inches of snow on top of ice. And I'm looking at the trees, and while the trees are they are beautiful. I mean, snow is beautiful in a photograph, okay? In real life, not so much. But it's a heavy, wet snow. It's a real heavy, wet snow. Which reminds me, if you're shoveling snow, if you must shovel snow, take little bites, because this is a very heavy, wet snow. And I'm thinking with the snow on the trees and power lines, I'm kind of hoping that there won't be any kind of power outage.
Yeah, around here in the Canisteo Valley area, we're doing okay. I think there was maybe one outage earlier this morning in the Fremont area. Most people are with power until you get into Allegheny County. In the 5 a.m. hour, the Wellsville Regional Newspaper was reporting there were 250 outages in Allegheny County, but apparently that's not the case where you are, Jonathan.
No.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with Jonathan in just a moment here on Mornings at 8.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report. It's the first trading day in December, and stock futures on Wall Street looking to follow Asian markets up. They rose after an unexpected jump in China's factory activity in November. China's official manufacturing purchasing managers index came in at 50.2, the first time it's topped 50 since April. As far as the trade war, though, uncertainty continues. A state-run newspaper saying Sunday that China insists on a rollback of U.S. tariffs as part of any Phase 1 trade deal. And Black Friday shoppers dropping a record-breaking $7.4 billion in online sales, according to preliminary data published by Adobe Analytics. It falls slightly short of last year's Cyber Monday. That's when consumers dropped $7.9 billion. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
Hey, have you heard that ransomware attacks have increased by 500% this year?
Yeah, cybercriminals are targeting all types of businesses, encrypting their data and holding it hostage unless they pay up.
What if we're their next victim?
Don't worry, we have Barracuda to detect, prevent, and recover from ransomware and other advanced threats.
So we're secured?
Absolutely. We'll pay no ransom and keep this business up and running.
That's a relief.
Protect your business at Barracuda.com. Barracuda, your journey secured.
From the Fox Sports Studios in Los Angeles, here's Eddie Garcia.
Checking Week 13 in the NFL Sunday night, the Texans beat the Patriots 28-22. Houston's now 8-4 with the win. Their quarterback Deshaun Watson had 4 touchdowns, 3 passing, 1 receiving. New England falls to 10-2 with the loss and drops to the number 2 seed in the AFC playoffs, despite Tom Brady having 3 touchdown passes. 2 of them came very late. Late action, Chiefs all over the Raiders, 40-9. Kansas City's now 8-4. Oakland falls to 6-6. Rams keep their faint playoff hopes alive in the NFC with a 34-7 win over the Cardinals. Rams are 7-5. Broncos over the Chargers 23-20 on a last-second field goal. Early games of note, Ravens beat the 49ers 20-17 on a Justin Tucker 49-yard field goal in the rain as time expired. Quarterback Lamar Jackson for Baltimore had 2 touchdowns, 1 passing, 1 rushing. Both teams are now 10-2. Baltimore's, though, won 8 straight, and they move into the number 1 seed in the AFC playoffs. Steelers over the Browns 20-13. Pittsburgh at 7-5 is holding the final wildcard spot in the AFC.
At the Simmons Rockwell Nissan stores in Horseheads and Hornell, drive away in a new Nissan Altima SR all-wheel drive sedan for only $329 a month. New all-wheel drive 2020 Altima 2.5 SR models equipped with 19-inch alloys, sport-tuned suspension, and remote start. Lease with no money down for $329 a month for 36 months. Only tax and DMV fees are due at signing. Shop Simmons-Rockwell.com.
And we're back. You know, as you heard on the break there, Black Friday set an online record, and consumers are still spending on Small Business Saturday. They spent more than, Saturday was Small Business Saturday. They spent more than $470 million. Black Friday, they spent $7.4 billion online and $4.2 billion on Thanksgiving Day. Man, that is a lot of buying. Consumers spent $11.6 billion online over the 2 days. Friday was also the biggest day ever for mobile sales, as $2.9 billion came from smartphones. People are getting more comfortable with buying online and on smaller screens. And let me see, I had that. That's incredible. That's a lot of money. That 5-day Cyber Week period, starting with Thursday, Thanksgiving. So the 5-day period should account for a 20% chunk of the $143.8 billion in online sales. Man, that really is a lot of spending. And, you know, if you've been watching TV the last couple of days, companies are advertising that you've never even heard, at least I've never even heard of, but everybody is advertising big time. And, hey, right? I think that's a very, very good thing. We had Thanksgiving and Black Friday, and this is Cyber Monday, and we had Small Business Saturday. Wowee. Okay, very good. Let me see here. What else? Where was this? Speaking of the, where did I put that? Yeah, speaking of the storm and all that, I got this from the from the governor's website. This is amazing. The state DOT, just facts and figures here, the state DOT has 1,592 large plow trucks. 1,592 large plow trucks. That's a lot. 183 medium-duty plows, 52 tow plows, 327 large loaders, and 39 what they call snow blowers. I don't know exactly what kind of snow blower they're talking about. Probably a large one, I would assume. But, man, that's a lot of equipment and a lot of people, by the way, thousands and thousands of people. That's really hard work, I'm sure, especially in this weather, Oh, if you're out driving, watch for snow plows. I know we all know this, but it's still, a reminder is not a bad idea because we haven't had snow plows on the roads in a year, right? So we have to be very careful around snow plows. They're big and they're heavy and they're not all that maneuverable. So you have to be very, very careful. And how do we, let me see, okay. I had to have something like this. I cannot have a show without something like this. This comes under the category of however have we made it this far as a species. And that folder is getting larger and larger. There was a guy, where was it? In Kansas. He steals an SUV, right? He steals an SUV, and the cops pull him over. It was a sheriff's deputy. A sheriff's deputy pulls him over because the car is reported stolen. So he arrests the suspect, a 36-year-old guy, for allegedly stealing this SUV. So several hours later, there's another report of a stolen SUV, and another sheriff's deputy SUV. And what it was the second SUV was stolen by the brother who stole the first SUV. So he was going to bail him out. So these two brothers each steal an SUV. The second one to rescue the first one who's now in jail. So he was going to go bail him out, and that's what happened there. Very good. Okay, I don't know. It must be in the genes or something. I don't know. Anyway, as I said, especially in times like this, when there's a storm and, it's certainly an unusual and an emergency type day, keep listening to WLEA. It's very important, right? Because if there's an update, I'm sure, absolutely sure that Brian will have it. Because that's the way it has always been at WLEA. That's the place to turn to when there is some kind of an emergency or a storm, maybe, who knows, an ice storm, a snowstorm, or something like that. That's where you want to be, WLEA. And let me see, what else there? I guess that would appear to be it for this morning. And also, it's posted on the website, right? So any updates, any breaking news stories will be on the WLEA news site. So it's very important to go to WLEA.net. That's where you turn to. That's where you've always turned to for updates. Very important. If you'd like to email me, and I don't know, you like my show, maybe you don't like my show, maybe you have a suggestion or something. I don't know. I'm always open, right? So if you have any kind of questions, comments, or opinions, you can always email me at studio1227@twc.com.
Activities that will enrich body, mind, and spirit.